With games like Trails into Daybreak releasing soon and looking to be a promising new entry to the Trails franchise, along with Metaphor Refantasy being a new IP from the famed Atlas and is promising to be a great new JRPG, I thought I'd give some spotlight to the JRPGs that have already been released this year. Usually JRPGs come out and get some time in the sun during their release period, but after that, they kinda get away from the public eye. Being at the halfway point of the year, I figured we should take a time to look at what games could end up being RPG of the year. And I'm not including every JRPG release in this video, so if I'm missing something, be sure to comment down below. And yes, I will be using Metacritic as a source to see how highly rated these games are. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a game that I absolutely love. I think it deserves its high Metacritic score and is a true blue current generation JRPG. I enjoy some of the changes from the original, and seeing places like the Gold Saucer in HD was just a sight to behold. Combat, I feel, has nearly been perfected from what I believe Final Fantasy XIII introduced with the stagger system, and the game has perfected its action RPG nature that started with Final Fantasy XV, although I argue that's not too hard to do. Nevertheless, Rebirth has received positive feedback from fans and is easily one of the highest rated Final Fantasies. As far as its financial performance goes, it seems to have enjoyed some initial high sales from its release date as Final Fantasy XVI did, but it also seems to have gone down considerably since then, making people question why 7 Remake sold so well while Rebirth isn't enjoying as much success in the sales department. Knowing Square Enix, it had to set the bar pretty high for sales, as they always do. While Rebirth's sales might just be fine, Square Enix was probably not aiming for sales to be just fine. Factors to consider but not limited to are this is a sequel to Remake, which some people might not have finished yet, or the PS4 install base was bigger at the time of Remake's release, or you might even have some people who are waiting for the entire trilogy to release before diving into this venture. As I said, I am loving Rebirth, but if I had to take issue with one thing about the game, it's definitely its open world nature. I'm a guy that's mostly playing JRPGs year round, so I'm not completely sure if Rebirth's open world nature is the norm for open world games. There is tons to do in Rebirth, but it kind of amounts to busy work. I just know each time I opened a new region of the map to explore, I knew it was going to come with towers that needed to be activated, items to collect, places to scan, and yada 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 lock. It truly became a barrier for me playing, knowing I had to do all that busy work. And see, I can name something I don't like about a game and still love it. I mean, just because I want to tongue down Tifa from head to toe doesn't mean I will blindly love a game. Wait, what did I just say? Hold on, rewind that for a second. I mean, just because I really like Tifa doesn't mean I will blindly love a game. Yeah, that's what I thought I said. Why did I have to rewind that? Anyway, moving on. We all know that the Persona series starts with Persona 3, and what better way to recognize that than have a remake of its first game with Persona 3 Reload. If you took that seriously, I'm slapping the shit out of you. Some might call it the breakout game of the Persona series, and it's definitely deserving of that title. Reload takes everything we loved about the original PS2 release and gives it a much needed makeover, adding new details to some story events, revamping the battle system, and of course giving us a graphical overhaul and performance taking advantage of current gen hardware. With the PC version currently sitting at an 89 on Metacritic, Reload might have been the Persona game everyone was looking for a remake of. I personally enjoyed Reload and thought the additions were a very much welcome change of pace, even though by the time I was done with the game, I started to question if there was such a thing as too much quality of life changes. Like, seriously, you gotta sort out my item bag automatically when there's a stats element on someone? I mean, cool, but I could have searched for the item myself. And Atlas, I love you guys, but can you stop being greedy for 2 seconds, like handing out the answer part of Persona 3 Fez as DLC? I mean, at least make it so people that got the premium edition could get the answer DLC for free. Charging $30 for it might have been a little excessive. Yeah, nah, buddy, everyone gotta pay for that DLC. We worked hard on that thing. And what are you complaining about? Didn't you already buy it? I mean, not yet, but yeah, you're gonna get it soon, that's for damn sure. And you're gonna get that enhanced version of Shin Megami Tensei 5, right? Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up getting that too. Yeah, that's what I thought. And you're gonna get that enhanced version of Metaphor too, right? I mean, the game releasing soon, but we already working on that enhanced version. Yeah, we're gonna release that a year or 2 or maybe even 3 years after release. Oh my god, why are you like this? Aw, come on, man, don't be like that. You know we got that Persona 6 in the pipeline, right? Yeah, we got you right where we want you. Now shut the fuck up and move on. Unicorn Overlord was a game I was not expecting to be that damn good. Vanillaware games have always been a nice little dessert when they release, but Unicorn Overlord was a full course meal for me. I enjoyed every second of this tactical RPG and got to a point where I didn't want the game to end. So much customization, careful planning to your units, seeing what order they attack in, seeing when their passive skill activates, trying to break down their equipment, figuring out how to maneuver a battle map, and trust me, there are a lot of options on how to tackle some battles. Sometimes there might have been too many options. Unicorn Overlord gets a glowing recommendation from me if you like tactical combat, and I have a video recently uploaded where I speak a little bit more on the game. You can check it out after this video. I mean, definitely check it out after this video, like open up a new tab. Don't click off this video just yet. I need the retention time, so help a dude out with the metrics, alright? Thank you very much. Unicorn Overlord is currently sitting at an 87 on Metacritic and is without a doubt going to be part of the highly rated games of the year. I just question if at the end of the year, if this game will get the respect put on its name, as it should, given the high Metacritic score. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink took forever to release. I mean, this game was announced in 2016, my god. Usually when a game is met with so many delays and dare I say years of radio silence, it's usually not the best sign. But thankfully, Side Games got their shit together and finally released Relink. And was all the wait worth it? I mean, yeah, the game is actually really fun to play, and I'm sure if you're a fan of the Grand Blue Fantasy mobile game and have spent countless hours in gacha hell, you'll probably appreciate all the characters and story here. For everyone else, it's pretty much about how fun the game is to play. I enjoyed the simple action RPG combat and liked how you couldn't just spam the dodge button all willy-nilly, making actually paying attention to dodge timing a little crucial. Resting at a nice 80 on Metacritic, Grand Blue Fantasy was a release that turned out to be pretty good. It has good graphics, nice gameplay, and runs smooth. I need to get around to clocking more hours into this game myself, and when I do, I know I'll be in for a good time. I've had lukewarm feelings towards games that are from Kickstarter. There have been success stories, sure, but the Kickstarters that crashed and burned, well, not gonna lie, those are the ones that stick out in my mind. But I think Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes might have opened my eyes on Kickstarter being a credible source at the very least. While I myself have small nitpicks with Eiyuden Chronicle, they're not deal breakers. The game set out as a spiritual successor, or inspiration rather, from the classic Suikoden games and has carved out a name for itself amongst the fans. It's a fun game with plenty to do, but in some areas it might have stuck a little bit too close to its old school JRPG roots. Metacritic is clocking in at a 78 on PC, the highest rated platform, and I'm hearing the Switch version is, well, an absolute abomination. I think I will wait for more updates before I dive deeper into this one. My experience with the Yakuza games are fairly limited. Yes, I'm going to refer to them as Yakuza games as long as I can. I did enjoy the first Like a Dragon. It opted to be a turn-based RPG that made me give the series a good chance, and I really enjoyed it. It had enjoyable turn-based gameplay, a cast of lovable characters, and I still to this day can't think about Yakuza without thinking of the song Ichibanaka. I haven't gotten around to playing Infinite Wealth just yet, but with all the positive feedback I've heard about it, I'm sure I'm in for a hell of a good time, especially with that high Metacritic score of an 89. Dragon's Dogma 2 was met with some negativity out the gate thanks to the sheer amount of DLC available for it. Fans did not like the monetization scheme and made their voices heard. However, all that shouldn't distract from the game being a very worthy sequel in almost every way. I know when I played the first Dragon's Dogma, I was none too impressed and always said that a sequel that irons out the issues of the first game might actually be a force to be reckoned with. And Dragon's Dogma 2 lives up to that from a gameplay and content perspective easily. The PC version currently resides at a nice 88 on Metacritic. Besides the DLC issue, people seem to be enjoying this game a great deal. So much so that this game might actually be a true contender for Game of the Year if the momentum keeps up. So those are the JRPGs I have that are already released this year. Let me know down below the ones I missed and what is your personal JRPG of the year so far. For me personally, as of right now, it's going to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.